Me on your back. We'll activate chicken jockey.
Yeah.
The first experience I ever personally had with making music was as early as probably year 3. I used to participate in my primary school's choir, and I was training for Young Voices in 2017, as well as I learnt piano when I was 8 or 9, and I only got as far as doing my grade 1, and everything else I self-taught myself. I did a band with one of my closest friends in primary school. When I mean band, I mean we would take popular songs at the time and switch around the lyrics, and we were in a band called Dimensions, which was also Shooting Stars. In year 6 I picked up guitar, literally just because I saw someone in my class and he could play guitar, and I was so wowed by that, so I got a nylon for Christmas, and I literally learnt how to play that song by train on guitar, and I've still got the music sheets somewhere in my nylon case. In secondary school I picked up ukulele in year 7 because my best friend at the time was playing ukulele, and I would literally carry that thing around with me every single day. So I went to college and I was so torn between the production and the performance course, because all I'd ever dreamed of doing was performance, and now I was getting wowed by production and recording in the studio and EQing stuff, and I instantly fell in love with production after some consideration over the summer, and that's when in my first year I created Eclectic Recordings, where I worked with about 6 different bands total, recording their tracks for their FMPs, and that led us into me recording a certain band which had Jude in it, and I instantly fell in love with the way he played guitar and the songs he would make, and I approached him and said, "You're absolutely incredible, please can I work with you?" And he'd actually heard some of my music that I put out before there without me even realising, and he sent me over some demos and I fell in love with them.
Music's always been a big thing in my house as a child growing up with my parents listening to a lot of 70s and 80s music. So although no one in my family is a musician of sorts, there's always a big abundance of music all the time, yeah. I mean, as soon as I picked up the guitar, it was instantly wanted to make music, original music. I wanted to join a band, I wanted to play shows, I wanted to do all these things. I wasn't around where I grew up. There wasn't really musicians there, I suppose. I felt as if I was the only one sort of in that area that was into the same stuff as I was. The first band I think I played in was a little silly project thing that me and my friends would do. They'd come over in the summer and we'd just, load up Audacity on the computer and plug into this little interface thing and just strum out a few chords, and none of us could sing, but we'd put some vocals over the top of it, and then I suppose that was my first band. Not nothing brilliant, but it's a start. It wasn't until I went to college, really, after secondary school, where I really started to pick up and play with more actual musicians rather than just my friends, and I joined the band there quickly, and sort of confidence only grew from there. I was originally quite doubtful of what I could do and what I could play, and being around supportive people and other musicians and watching them grow as well as me, it was a confidence boost, and it was fun, and we made some good music and we made some bad music. Well, Away kind of started when I was really getting into these really quite small dream pop, shoegaze style-y sort of small American bands. Like only a few thousand listeners on Spotify, not that big at all. And the sound that they had, I don't know, I really liked it. It was moody, but it wasn't depressing. It was like a nostalgic sort of sound almost. But I don't know, I just sort of Away kind of came from those songs really.
Okay,
Are you gonna stop giggling?
I'm fine now.
Okay. The first thing we recorded for Away was the acoustic guitar, and I'd like to say we did it in one studio session, but that would be a lie. We ended up recording that 3 times. We did Away for the first time, but we weren't happy with the take because the guitar we didn't use fresh strings. They were thicker strings, and from that recording we actually only used the guitar in one song that I'll talk about later. But for Away we re-recorded that 3 times until I was happy with the recordings that we did. And then after the acoustic, I brought Jude into the studio and we banged out the electric. I think it must have been in 2 sessions because the sheer amount of guitars on that song. But yeah, we did acoustic, electric, bass, and then we let the drums come in a later session.
Yeah, there's quite a few layers in that song actually. It's, I think like 8 bass layers, and they're all double tracked and stuff. But no, you've got the big band bit, the wow bit in there, which is just playing throughout the whole of the chorus, if you want to call it that. I've got this funny little pitch shifting pedal thing that I use quite a bit, and I don't think I have really implemented it into a recorded song other than 1 or 2 sort of features on someone else's song. But no, I really wanted to record that into original music that I've made. And yeah, there's a little riff or whatever you want to call it in the chorus. It has that pitch shifting effect thing in it, and if you listen carefully you can hear some really high pitch squealing thing going on.
The irony of Away was that we wrote it when we were away from each other. We were in a long distance position at that time of our lives, and we were tackling writing and figuring out how to make music from such a... we were like halfway across the country away from each other, and we found we could share our demo ideas on an online app called BandLab. So Jude would write a bit and he'd go, "Hey Bethany, listen to what I've done," and then he would put it on there and I would go, "Oh my gosh, I love this," record a vocal line over it, and then we'd discuss it over text or over call, and we'd go, "This is what I want to happen with the song, this is what we're doing." And the whole song is about being away from someone and having the difficulty of having them in your life to begin with to then disappear. And you've got the up and the down, you've got the A section of the song being the happy, no, not happy, more of the solemn bit, into the B part, which is the chaotic bit, and then vice versa, it switches. For a first release, I'm really, really happy with that song.
I mean, most of that song is very quite DIY almost. I mean, I didn't really do anything professionally for the demo. I mean, I recorded the acoustic on my phone. I just plugged my guitar straight into my laptop and run everything through there. It was a very low budget, low quality recording, but no, we met up, went to the studio and got a nice recording out of it. Yeah, with drums, we were going through all the drummers we knew and see who would fit the song best, and I've worked with Sam a good few times before, and it's just his skills are just crazy. I mean, he's a very professional musician, works very well in the studio, doesn't fight back. If you have a vision, he'll follow that vision with you. He'll help you make that vision while also adding a bit of his personal touch into it, But no, I'm very happy with how the drums sound, and I think Sam did a very, very good job. Very good job.
Jude is a superstar.
Yeah, you're right,
Beautiful cable arrangement.
I'm gonna hit a mic gently. I'm gonna scream through this mic.
Give us a demo of the scream.
Oh.
Jude sent me demos of so many songs he'd written, and the first ever demo song he sent me was of a song called Photographic Memories. That was literally the bass title for it. I didn't do any of that. That was just Photographic Memories. He sent me this song, and I was sat on the bus on the way home, and I instantly fell in love with that song. I had never heard anything more moving, and when I was on the bus, I was staring out the window as you do, and all of a sudden I could picture exactly what I wanted the song to be about. And sat on that bus, I wrote the melody for it and the chorus. And the chorus instantly stuck with me, and it's the chorus that is used in the song to this day, because I just felt such a immediate connection with it that everything practically stayed the same since the original. Having said that, I did go back and forth on the lyrics and the melody, because I first made it when I was ill, and I sent you the demo, and I was very self-conscious of my voice at the time because of how ill I sounded, and I was like, no, I'm sure I can do better if you don't like it, because I'd never really ever shown anyone my music. That was the first time I felt open enough to share what I was doing. So I sent him the file, and it was like, okay, if you can do better, you can do better. And I took that as oh my god, he doesn't like it. So I had a couple different takes and melodies, but it all followed the same story of having a friend and watching them change, and having this friend be someone that you were either not fond of at the start, saying, oh, you're such a show-off, to gosh, I know everything about you and I miss you, kind of thing.
Oh man, Photographic Memories was an old song from in the days of that first band I was talking about with my friends over the summer. Yeah, that was one of those where we just, play a few chords, loop them around. I mean, I wasn't very good at guitar back then. I'd only just really started, and I'd listened to a song called Nutshell from Alice in Chains, and there's a chord in that where like it changes one note and it adds this really nice like colour, nice texture to it. And I was like, I want to write something with that. So I guess I could thank Nutshell for half of that chord progression, I suppose. I don't know. It inspired it definitely. I didn't really have any effects pedals or anything back then, so most of the effects were from my amp or from Audacity, which is what I used to record. So in Photographic Memories, the rhythm chords that you're hearing in the background is like soaked in this chorus thing. That's I'm pretty sure that's an Audacity plugin for chorus. That's just the default Audacity plugin. So but I think it sounds quite good. I'm glad that we get to keep that in, to keep a hint of the original song in there. The solo that you hear at the start and towards the end of the song, I was very into the Chili Peppers at that point, and when I first wrote that, and John Frusciante from the Chili Peppers, the guitarist, he plays quite he doesn't play lots of notes. He's kind of like David Gilmour in a sense, where he'd play a solo, it'd be quite melodic, it'd be quite you'd tell so much with so little, and I was really a big fan of what he was doing then, so I kind of took inspiration from him, and especially at Slane Castle. If you've ever seen the performance for that, really good performance. All the solos he does there, I took quite heavy inspiration. I think you can hear it pretty well.
Since this song instantly connected with me, I felt such a justice, almost need to make this song come alive for Jude, because I saw this is, I know it's our song, but in my head I see it as this is Jude's song. This is like the first proper song he's ever made. I want him to be so happy with the results. So the thing that we did was we kept everything practically original down to the demo, but we re-recorded everything else except for the main guitars that you hear. That layer is completely kept in the original, but we changed all the little add-ons and almost freshened it up and gave it life, and that was such a moving moment for me to be able to see his creations come to life in the way that he was really happy with, and that meant so much to me, not only on a performance level but on a production level. Being able to work with someone who's so talented in that field and seeing them happy was absolutely incredible. And I know for a fact that that is Sam's favourite song to play on, and I don't blame him. Given that song the life exactly what it needed in such a subtle, hazy way. I think the way he captured the strength and the power and the beauty of that song, I don't even know what to say. I'm just so thrilled that we were able to have him for the day that we did, get everything recorded, because I don't know what these songs would be without his unique flair. It's just so incredible.
I remember making this song. I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm not feeling music. I'm not feeling guitar at this moment. I was stuck. I had a big writer's block. I didn't know what I was doing. So I just got out of bed. I picked up my acoustic. It was just sat next to my bed, and I just strummed these like 3 chords in a loop again, and then I sent it to Bethany, and I was like, oh man, I don't like this. It's just some rubbish I've come up with now. And she was like, oh wait, no, I really like that. Oh, that's exactly the sort of thing that I can write to. And I was like, yeah, do what you want with it. It's not that great, but and then it turned out to be Forget Me Not. It turned out to be a good song. I like that song. It's quite simple, quite stripped back. Just I think a nice little closer to the EP. Nice little send off, especially with the clapping at the end. It's kind of like a celebration of what we've done, what we've made.
Forget Me Not, I instantly fell in love with the guitar demo that Jude sent me for this song. He sent it to me at midnight, and there was a text conversation between us on WhatsApp. He sent it to me and said, oh, this is a really simple song, I came up with it. And I was just like, stop inspiring me, I'm trying to go to bed. And as I did that, I pulled up WhatsApp on my laptop, and I've recorded in my voice notes a demo melody I had for that song. And I said, oh, I know it's really late, but I'm going to show you what I've done because I love this song. And the meaning behind this song is really dear to me. It's not even about me, but I felt so much emotional connection. Again, I don't know what it is with Jude's playing. Everything he plays, I instantly just connect to. And I wanted this song to have a feeling of almost joy in a nostalgic way, like you're looking back and it's just not what it was, but you're happy about it, and there were some bitter times, but overall it was a good time.
Also on Record Store Day, a new band, although there's only the two of them, of course, called Snowdeer, performed, and they're here in the studio with us right now, so it's a time to say good morning to Bethany and Jude. Hello, you two.
Hello.
How are you? Oh, man of many words, Jude in the corner. I'm going to get at least 3 sentences out of you before this show's over. But, yes. Bethany, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us a little bit about how you two got together before we go on to talk about the music, and then we'll go on to talk about the band that Jude was playing in when I first saw him play.
Yes.
So I initially
when we were going up to the radio, I was like, he's going up these stairs into this radio room, and they had the mic set up everywhere, and it was scary for the first time. I've never been on a radio before, but no, it went well. We had someone write in. We got positive feedback from it. I think it went very well.
I really enjoyed going on the radio. I'm very, very, very grateful that we were able to get on and promote our music the day before it came out and talk a bit about ourselves and have a bit more of a personal side to who we are instead of just a band that make music. We were very fortunate to be able to have Steve there at the first gig we played in Buckton at a Vinyl Revival store, and if it wasn't for him going, "Oh, we would love to have you on the radio," and Huntington Radio saying that, we wouldn't be able to have the exposure that we have now to the select audience that we have, and I'm forever grateful for all of that.
We decided on the name Oscillations after throwing a few names back and forth, because the EP has quite a strong theme of change and changes and how people can adapt to change differently. And with Oscillations, you've got your ups and your downs on your wave. So I think it's quite a fitting name. I'm quite happy with it. It's a first step in the direction that we want to go in.